Hi guys, this is Annie. I hope you all are doing great tonight. And tonight I have this really fun Easter egg mani for you, so let's begin. And here are the items that we will be using in tonight's manicure. I just grabbed hold of a bunch of my pastel colors since it's Easter and also for spring. So you can go ahead and choose whichever you want. This is the set that I have, so I pulled those out. I also have some acetone, some fast drying top coat, a cleaner brush, some dotting tools, a pair of tweezers. I am actually using to get the polish on tonight some eyeshadow sponge, and I also have some nail guides. So let's begin. Alright guys, so here we are, and as you see I did grab a bunch of pastel colors. You can also choose whatever shade of colors you prefer. I'm just doing this pastel because to me Easter usually have more or less more pastel colors. So this is the set that I've decided to use as far as colors is concerned. And for the nail guides, I am going to use a piece of chevron tape as well as the straight ones. So if you don't have these little nail finals, you can go ahead and you can grab a piece of masking tape and chop some up according to this. You can also use whatever design you want, of course. And this is how I painted my nails. I've actually gone ahead and painted them all white, and then to bring that pop of bright colors out, I've painted this one in the pastel green and the index finger was in pastel pink. So now we're going to start applying the nail vinyls, and let's get ready to apply these nail polishes, okay? So this is a pretty easy manicure. It's just a little bit time consuming because we have to decorate and do all of this stuff. So as I'm talking to you, I'm just opening my nail polishes. Just have them ready and open for faster work. That'll be a little bit easier to do than having to stop in between and keep opening the bottle. So I found it much more easier to just have them open and ready to work with. And again, this is for Easter. So here we go. I am actually going to do the exact designs as I did on this nail. Let's start with the thumb. And for the thumb, I'm actually using one piece of chevron tape as well as a straight one. I have used the same pieces of tape for all the other nails that I've used the tapes for. So these are reusable. Using masking tape, I would suggest to just cut a bunch of them up and have that ready for you. Alright, so the first piece of tape we're going to apply is the chevron tape, and I'm applying that one a little bit to the bottom. I just want to paint the bottom of that nail really quickly in yellow, and then we'll move on. And like I said, this is a bit time consuming, so have a little patience when doing this particular manicure. But it does look great at the end. And for the nail polish, I'm actually using nail polish sponge because I like the way it comes out. It makes it look a little softer than just applying it with the brush on there. So that's the first color, and then I am going to immediately remove that, and then I'm going to take that same chevron tape and apply it to the top here. Press it down just a little, and I'm also going to take that straight tape and apply that to the middle here. Press that down, line it up, and press it down. So the top part now is going to be in orange. Just sponge it on. And you can go as heavy-handed as you want on this. You can even use the paintbrush and just brush it on from the nail polish brush itself. I just like the way this one comes out. To me it looks a little softer, and it just gives it a little texture look as well. So that's the orange at the tip there, and then right beneath that chevron, and above the tape I'm going to stick some purple in there. So turning my little brush around here, going in and adding on some purple. So this is very light. I have to go do this again to get those colors to really pop out. And like I said, you know, you can go ahead and you can use your brush from the nail polish if you want. That's definitely not a problem. I just prefer to use this because I can handle it also a little better. And let's remove these tapes. And at this point, the yellow is completely dried. So I am actually going in and sticking the tape where the yellow is. So I'm sticking it on the yellow to hide that edge of the chevron design on the yellow so I don't get that ruined. And immediately after that, I'm going to apply blue right here. So again, taking the little eyeshadow applicator and going in with blue. And then I could go ahead and remove the tape. So there we have it, the yellow, the blue, the white line, the purple, and the white line. And at this point, we're just going to grab a dotting tool and the blue nail polish to go in the chevron lines there again. So I am grabbing like a medium-sized dotting tool for this particular one here. If you could see that, it's not the extra large one, it's not the fine one. And I am placing the dots into each triangular design of the chevron. So at the bottom here, here, and so forth. Let's darken that up just a little bit. A couple of them needs to be darkened a little bit, so let's go back in and do that. And that's pretty much it for that particular nail there. So as you can see, it's not hard, so I'll fast forward the middle fingers. We do that as well with the chevron design. And that's it for those two nails with the most of the tape, so we can move on now. And for the other two nails, which is the ring finger and the index finger, I actually did a gradient on that. So as you can see here, I have painted them in pink and green, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm actually going to do that gradient in an angle. So here we have the pink, the orange, and then the blue. So now I'm going to keep the pink over here. I'm going to do the orange in an angle and the blue. So all I'm needing to grab now is my orange and my blue, and we're going to do a gradient on that right across that nail. So there's the orange And the top doesn't have to be perfect because that's going to be hidden with those decorative dots that I have on here with the other colors, because I try to incorporate a little bit of each color into each nail so it kind of look a little bit uniform in a sense. Nice and colorful, but uniform. So we're doing the gradient here with a little more orange to the top of that. There we go. And you can see that. And then we're going to do blue at the very bottom there. Just a tiny little bit of blue at the bottom to just let that pop just a little bit. So start from the bottom on this one and work your way up. And then you can always go in and take out, which is pretty much just like, you know, just keep drying off the brush and removing what you need to remove from there. So that one came out a little heavier than I wanted, so I'm going back now with my orange and just gonna settle that in a little bit more. There we go. Kind of take some of that blue away because I don't want the blue to be so strong on there. So there we go. So it's very light, as you could see, just like this one. And once you put the top coat on it, then the colors start bouncing off like crazy. Now, as you could see here, I have bigger dots, and the bigger dots are in purple, and there's some yellow and blue in there. So I'm just going to apply those dots, and they're all in different sizes. So I have a couple of the dotting tool here, and I'm using, for the bigger dots, I'm going to be using the purple nail polish on that. And I'm basically going to do the dots in an angle as well. So just a couple, because you want to incorporate the other colors as well in there. So I'm just going to pop them in randomly all over. And that should be enough for those. And now I'm going to stick some yellow in there. And I'm using the medium size edge of the dotting tool now for the yellow. So go in and just slap on some yellow dots, and again randomly, it doesn't have to be in any particular order. And then I'll use the smaller side of the dotting tool here to add some blue in there. So they're all different sizes of little polka dots in there. And then the last color I'm going to add in there is white. And the white dots are going to go directly at the bottom here. Just a very, very little off it, and very, very tiny little dots. So I'm using my smallest part here of the dotting tool for that, you know, just to make it look like some tiny little drop off, so to speak. So you could barely see it now, but again, you'll see it better in the pictures later on. So that's the white dots, and that's pretty much done there. So let's move on now to the other finger. And again, that one, we are doing a gradient again, and we're going to use the dotting tool to make that little flower. So the colors here now is I've painted this in green, and I am going to do the gradient with blue and orange again to let that pop through, and then the green would come through at the end, and then we'll be putting pink polka dots and a purple and white dotting tool flower. So again, I will fast forward this for you guys so you don't have to sit through there. So let's start with that blue. Alright guys, so now that that one is also done, let's move on to the last and final nail, which is the pinky nail. And that one we are going to need that piece of chevron tape. We're going to stick that chevron tape back right in the middle of the nail, and we're actually going to do a gradient above and below it. So just stick that right on in the middle of the nail there. Make sure it's nice and secure. Great. And as you can see here, we're going to do purple and blue on the top, or I should say closer to the cuticle, and then we're going to do orange and yellow. So let me start with the purple. And this doesn't take much nail polish. So there's the purple already in, and then we grab the blue. And then we can always go back and darken the color as we wish. And I'm actually starting the gradient off on the tape itself and moving upwards for this because I don't want the blue to come out too heavy right under that purple. So I'm putting the majority of that color on the chevron tape itself and then working my way off of it. And it's going to be the opposite when I go to the other end. So there's the blue and the purple. Take some of that off. And now let's do the other end of it, which is the tips of the nail, and that's going to be in yellow and orange. For this particular one now, I'm actually going to do the orange first here and then the yellow at the tips. Get some more of this orange in there. This is very light. So there's my orange, and then I'm gonna get that yellow nice and bright on the tips of that. Then I can take my tape off. That's already done. Then I take the tape off and I can go ahead and finish up the decorating. This one actually came out, the blending is actually better than the right hand on here, as you could see. So let's go ahead and we're going to do pink large dots in between that. One, two, get some more polish here. And that's pretty much it for the polishing of the nail. Now the only thing we have to do is we have to apply the top coat to this. But being that these dots are just like tiny little droplets of nail polish, I'm going to let it dry for about 5 minutes and then I'll come back and apply the top coat to it. So I'll see you in a few. Alright guys, so I have waited about 5 minutes just to let the top layer of that get really nice and dry. And now I am going in to do some cleanup around my fingernails here where there's gradient work and the extra nail polish. Now is a good time to clean that up before you actually go in and start applying your top coat, because we don't want that to set in on the nails and have to go back and do that after. So just go in with a little brush if there's any mess and clean that up. And usually I would use, when I'm stamping, I would use the liquid latex, but unfortunately you can't use the latex when you're using the tapes because it peels right off with the tape. So looks like we're almost done here with the cleanup, and we can go right in and apply our top coat. And for that I will be using my favorite fast drying top coat, just the Out the Door. And even though this is nail polish that was punched on, I would say treat it as though if it was stamped. Go gentle on the nails, don't press. You don't want that polish to actually go back in and melt the nail polish that's already set on your nails and that could still smudge. It could drag the image of whatever it's drawn onto your nails there. So, treat it as the same as you would do when stamping. Go very light on it. And of course, to make your manicure last just a little longer, go ahead and cap the tips of your nails especially, so that will prevent the wearing and chipping from the tips going upward. And as you could see, it's going to pop right out once we apply that top coat. Everything is going to smoothen out, and the manicure is really going to just pop right out. And I know you guys can't see it right now because of the lighting on the little camera here that I'm using, and I apologize for that, but you will definitely see it up close on the pictures. And the last one is that pinky nail. And this will pretty much complete the manicure, but here we go. Take a closer look at some of the pictures, and I'll be right back. Alright, sweetie, so here it is, the final manicure. And this one I'm going to call my little Easter egg mani, because they do look like little eggs. So as you could see, this one was not a very hard manicure tonight, but it is a little more time consuming than the others, but it was fun. And I do hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, if you have any questions, write to me. I will answer them as best as I can and as fast as I can. And also, don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming videos as well. And thank you so very much for popping by and watching my videos. It's much appreciated. Have a good night and happy Easter. Bye bye.